Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to give a big shout out to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for getting us to 100 within the week. That was our first ever YouTube goal. So thank you for that. Please don't stop now. Make sure you're giving this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're viewing everything, sharing everything, commenting, turning on your post notifications so that you can keep up with the latest videos. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video. Today I'm gonna be doing something a little different. I'm talking about boot camp. Yes, it's gonna be a story time. So I'm gonna tell y'all about this time in boot camp. Oh my gosh. And before I get started, this is Navy boot camp. So don't comment and be like, well, in our Army, we didn't do that. I know, because this is the Navy. So, okay, we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. So, like I said, I was in the Navy, and so I went to boot camp in Great Lakes, and it was not an easy journey. Boot camp itself wasn't necessarily hard, but I ended up getting injured not too long into the process. So we were having, you had like 3 PFAs, right? Which is, for those who don't know, it's your physical assessment to just like make sure, physical fitness assessment to make sure that like you can run the time frame that they gave you, run 1.5 miles in the time frame that they gave you, that you can do a certain amount of push-ups, a certain amount of sit-ups, blah, 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 all that lavish stuff, right? Okay, so I had a knee injury, a really, really bad knee injury, and I can't remember if it happened not my first PFA, but around my second PFA, or if it was when we were doing this thing called, I don't know if it was called stations, cycles, or what, but it was like a gym of like a whole bunch of different exercises that were just like, this one had this like, the one that I'm thinking maybe it was is when we had these like step stools, so to speak, where you had to step up really high, step down low, step up high, step down low, get off, do it all again, all this other stuff. So I don't remember if it happened then or if it happened after the first PFA when we started doing run clinic, which is just where they take you to this big old gym and you run these ridiculously large laps until they tell you when to stop. Like they would say we only gonna do a sustained run for 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes would turn into 10 minutes, which would turn into 20 minutes, which would turn into 30 minutes, which wasn't a bad thing. It just was hell to pay during that time. Like it just was like, I know you lying, I know it's been 10 minutes, like you not gonna tell me that this song then played 6 times and we only been running for 5 minutes. But anyway, I could go on and on about that. So yeah, I don't remember exactly when I injured my knee, but I know that it was bad. Like it was swollen. If you touched it, it left like an indent, so you could tell it was a lot of fluid, like just free fluid just hanging out there. And so it got to a point to where like we were trying to like self-medicate me, like in the what was that thing called? What did they call it? I don't remember what it was called, but basically where we lived, so my shipmates were amazing, like, and I think I'm still in contact with most of them, but it was like Lord, Gil, Denmark, just some of everybody were really making sure that like, oh, we got you some ice here, lift your foot up, put it up here, all types of stuff, like just amazing. Like, thank you guys if you're watching, thank you so much. But because it was a real live injury, no matter how much ice I put on it, no matter how much whatever we did, I was still in pain. So it got to a point where like I'm steady pushing myself. And so one of my RDCs is like, Bearden, come here. What's going on with your knee? Blah, 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 blah. Looks at my knee and he's like, you need to go to Trank. And I was like, I don't want to go to Trank. And Tranquility was like the health clinic. Like, that's where you go. So I'm like, no, I don't want to go because I don't want to get asthma, blah, 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 blah. Like, because I know it's bad, because it's never been this bad. Like my knee, okay, this was like how your kneecap is supposed to be, right? Like this is the middle. This is my kneecap. It started to like shift right? So that's how I was sitting, even when I'm just standing straight up. And so because it was so swollen, like, I don't know. So like, okay, like let's say, I don't know how to really explain it, but like, let's say this was like your natural kneecap size. Well, not your kneecap itself, not the bone, but like just the width that it should be. Mine was like this big, like it was huge. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to do that. And so he was like, it doesn't matter about when you finish. What matters is that you finish a real sailor. You can't injure yourself, blah, 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 and expect to go to the fleet. You have to take care of yourself. Rah, 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 rah. So he was like, really, like, you're going, period. Like, it's not an option. You're going. So I go, and that's what they tell me, like, oh, you have misalignment in the knee, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, they gave me ibuprofen. Everybody in the military knows you only get ibuprofen. They give you ibuprofen like they give you Tic-Tacs. Here's the ibuprofen. So when they sent me to physical therapy, because they was like, yo, your knees is pretty bad. You got misalignment. You need to stay off of it. There's no such thing as staying off of it because I'm trying to graduate on time, right? So they give me naproxen for the swelling, ibuprofen, and something else, which is supposed to try to, like, I don't know, like some tendons behind my kneecap were like not doing what they needed to do or whatever. So it was like, that's what the medicine was for. I don't remember what it was though. And so I'm steady going on about my day. They told me to stay off of it, but I refused. And I kept telling my RDCs, like, no, I want to go to run clinic. I want to do this. I want to do that, blah, 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 blah. And so I think that them seeing that I was like driven to do those things played a factor. And I think that they definitely saw like, hey, she really wants this. And so it hurt, like, oh my God, it hurt so bad. Like I was literally crying while running, like, and I don't know if you ever cried while running, but it is hard to breathe. Let me tell you, it's hard to breathe. So I remember run clinic was hell to pay. I promise you it was not easy. And we went all the time. So by the time our second PFA came around, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not working out. And I was like, I needed them to count my laps because when I ran an additional 2 laps, I think. Because they tell you what my RDCs were saying while we were running was to run an extra lap because they get a lot of complaints about people not getting all of their laps counted or about the little monitor that they put on your on your ankle, not recording all your laps. So I like ran 2 extra laps. And so the time that it said that I stopped running, that it tracked my last lap was like 13 minutes or something. But I didn't even get off the track until 15 something minutes. So I was like upset because I was like, I needed this win. Like, even though I know that I did it, it still was like, I needed this win because I need to know that I can do this with this knee. So, I was just like so desperate to pass. So by the end of that second PFA, I believe, I was boo-hoo crying to my friend Sosa. I was like, yo, like, I'm not gonna pass. I'm gonna get asthma. I can't do this. Like, I don't understand. Like, I kept running. I didn't stop, even though I was in so much pain. And he like, yo, Bearden, you gonna pass, okay? And I'm like, okay. Really got me together like that. Get it together. You're gonna pass. So the final PFA, oh my goodness, I was trying so hard to just get a brace because for the mock PFAs, they were letting me use, what's the things called? Like an ACE bandage, right? And so with the ACE bandage, because I had misalignment in my knee, that's what the pain was. The friction of my kneecap not being where it was supposed to be was hell. So we ended up being like, okay, like, let's use this ACE bandage. So I used the ACE bandage to hold it in place while I ran. And it was a little harder because you can't really get your strides the same, if that makes sense, when running, because obviously you need your knee flexes and stuff like that. So it was a little harder to do, but it didn't hurt as bad. And so I was able to run a little faster. I didn't feel a need to stop, well, not because of my knee. I always wanted to stop running because I just hate running. I hate it. So I went back to physical therapy for an appointment, and I was telling the physical therapist, like, hey, is there a way that I can get a brace? Because I was like, I really feel like I can do so much better on my run if I have a brace, because the brace will flex with me as I move, whereas an ace bandage will not. And so he was like, the only way I can give you a brace is if you go to RCU. I'm not going to RCU. No, I'm not. So RCU is their like recovery unit. They send you to recovery, and your training time stops from there until you're healed and stuff like that. So I absolutely refused. So I go, and it's PFA time, and I'm nervous. I'm popping naproxens and ibuprofens. I know you probably not supposed to mix that. So for all you medical people, don't even bother telling me. It's too late. It was done. So I popped naproxens and ibuprofens and everything before we even go take the PFA. As soon as we get up, hit the ground, I'm like, yes, I'm taking all this right now so I can give myself the best chance possible, because this one was going to determine if I graduated on time. So I'm like, okay, took these, and so we doing our little warm-ups, whatever. I'm like, okay, good. I'm feeling good. It's not hurting as bad. It's a little achy, a little sore, but it's all right. So running. Oh my gosh. I don't know if the naproxen didn't kick in or the ibuprofen wore off. I don't know. But I'm running, and I get to the last bend. That last bend, I don't know if I stepped wrong. I don't know what happened, but it hurt so bad. And I'm looking at the time, like I'm looking at the clock up here, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. And so people that had shorter run times was already done. And so to this day, I speak so highly of this girl. Oh my gosh, she's so amazing. So I get around the bend, and I'm looking at the time like I'm not gonna finish. And I needed to run in a 15:15 was my time. So I'm like, I'm not gonna make it, because I was like on the bend, and it was like 14:50 something. So I'm coming around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna stop, because I mean, I'm not gonna make it. Whatever, I'm not gonna make it. I still got at least I don't know, a quarter mile, like at least. I mean, well, not a quarter mile, but like, I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say. I had some time left. And so we're not supposed to talk during the PFA. We're not supposed to do that. But my friend Gail hops on the track with me, and she's like, Bearden, come on. I'm not letting you fail. You're going to pass. Blah, 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 blah. Made it at 15:14. 15:14. Remember I told y'all my time was 15:15. When I say I'm in the head, like, because once you finish, you could like go to the head and stuff. I'm in the head, boo-hoo, crying. I'm talking about church crying, Baptist church crying. Like, can't even speak. I'm just crying. 15:14. 1 second to spare. 1 second to spare. And I'm like, oh my God, like, oh my God. And everybody's like, Bearden, did you pass? What happened? Blah, 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 blah. And I can't respond. I'm like, I'm like crying so hard, right? Like, I'm like, oh my God, this is like unbelievable. 1 second to spare. So Gil, who ran with me, tells them like she passed, blah, 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 blah. Crazy, yo, like crazy. So I was so shocked. Oh my God, I'm like thanking my RDCs, like, thank you for pushing me. Thank you for letting me run. Thank you for letting me go to run clinic. I'm like thanking Gil. Like, we're not supposed to touch, but we in the head, right? So I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much, Gil. You're so sweet. I can't believe this. Like, really an emotional wreck, because when I tell you I couldn't do boot camp no more. Like, I was like, I'm gonna do my time and go. But in conclusion, what I will say is my RDCs, Petty Officer Lob was one of my RDCs. And what I will say is that man got a lot of wisdom, because he kept saying that pain is weakness leaving the body. And I was like, are you crazy? Like, where you get that from? No, it's not. Stop. If it's hurting you, stop. But he kept saying, like, your body can surpass the levels of your mind. Like, you can do way more than what you think you can do. And so, I realized that from that, like, I'm way stronger than what I ever thought, because the way my knee was set up, I shouldn't have graduated. I should have been in RCU. I should have taken more time than what was required to go through boot camp. Should have been there way longer than 8 weeks. I don't know, and I'm not gonna lie, I probably did some damage because I'm still hurting to this day. But that don't even matter. The point is I did it. Okay? I did it. I did it. I did it. And I'm proud. So please take that and be encouraged. Please. Don't let these obstacles get in your way. I'm not saying go out there and hurt yourself, but always know that you can surpass whatever limit that you have put on yourself. Like I said in my other video, if you haven't watched it, the dream that changed my life, you can do it. Take those caps off of yourself. Stop telling yourself what you can and cannot do, because you're way more capable than what you give yourself credit. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Drop down your stories, your success stories, things that you didn't necessarily think you were going to do good at, but you did. Thank you. See you guys later.